This is Emmy and Basis,
I'm Tony James.
and we are here to talk about a show called Chowder. And this is a special because honestly, we love Chowder, and we're going to talk about Chowder. I will go first. Now, Chowder was a show about a bear, raccoon, squirrel-looking creature who wanted to be a chef, like Mungdal. And as he progressed, he got better and better and better. And along the way, he's made friends. He's made a somewhat semi-girlfriend, which wouldn't leave him alone. And then you had Mungdal's wife, who's actually gotten a little bit nicer during the series, Truffles. And then you gotta love your rock monster, Rada Rada Rada. Schnitzel. You gotta love Schnitzel, especially when they went to that Chuck E. Cheese rip-off place. Because that was hilarious, just seeing him just go crazy for a mechanical bride, whatever thing that was singing up there on stage, and him going crazy. That was funny. Now, I did like Chowder, and Chowder, honestly, I think got better and better, so Chowder, yeah. That's pretty much my perspective on Chowder. Tony, your turn?
Well, I love the show for a variety of reasons. One thing that really impressed me about it, and I remember this very specifically, is that it used a range of animation techniques. I mean, you had this, like, for example, if you look at the clothing of the characters, they had patterns that moved and stuff, which I thought was really cool. I forget how they did that. They did something there where they came up with a really, really awesome effect for the clothing for the characters. But they used as well as that, they used puppets and they used all sorts of things, and it gave the show a lot of range, and it was really, really cool. And it had Tara Strong in it as Truffles, and Tara Strong's awesome as always.
Oh, and don't forget the guy who did Gazpacho. I forgot his name, but he's the guy who also did Timon from Lion King, and also he did Master Shake from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Just want to throw that in, so Gazpacho was cool too. So
yeah. And yeah, it was just personally, all the talking about food made me hungry during the show. So I don't know if any of the fans of the show got hungry from it, but it definitely made me. It definitely made me hungry, and it got me slightly interested in cooking, I guess, as well, because I mean, Chad wanted to learn to cook, and I kind of wanted to learn to cook after seeing the show too. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, it was sort of sending a great message, I guess.
That's true. All right. Now we're gonna move on to the most stupidest section of this video. Cancellation. Why in the hell do they have cancellation? The reason why Chowder was canceled, look, there's two parts to it. So we'll go with the first one. The first reason why was due to low ratings. Tony, would you take this one first?
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that, because I truly thought the show was going well. It had been, it got nominated for numerous amounts of awards for not only the voice acting, but a ton of other things like the animation, as I mentioned. And yeah, so I don't know why on Earth, its ratings dropped. I mean, I never really stayed with the show long enough to find out, but yeah, I find it really hard to believe almost that it died because of bad ratings. Although having said so, eventually every show dies. It's like a repeating cycle. They always get a good show. It does well for a while, and then it withers away after a while. And I'm sorry that happened to Chowder because it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, it got nominated. So
yeah,
and got awards.
Exactly. And so my perspective of it, I mean, Chowder, yeah, it started out on Cartoon Network on the Fried Dynamite program, which honestly was god awful, which took over the greatest Cartoon Friday show ever, Cartoon Block, and so then it moved on to those Hard Thursdays crap, which still Chowder was a good show. I mean, they started adding puppets into it and made it funnier. I mean, come on, Ceviche was freaking hilarious. I mean, come on. I mean, you gotta love Panini. I mean, seriously, just her like getting all over Chowder. I mean, I was like, I'm not your boyfriend!
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, hi, Snickums. He's like, ugh, you demon! Oh, come on, Chowder, you'll be fine. And, I mean, seriously, I mean, it's got so much better. The animation got better. I mean, they started doing stuff that you don't see in cartoons today. I mean, they had such a different, different art, animations, and everything, a different perspective. But it was so unique. But they get rid of it. They get rid of it.
I agree with that completely. I mean, it was one heck of a unique show.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't realize it straight away, but after a few episodes, I was like, whoa, this is a good show here.
Exactly. Now, we move on to the second part. Now, this may have been rumored, but I want to talk this through. The reason why the show could have got canceled is probably because the kid who done Chowder's voice, his voice got deep and his voice didn't sound right. Well, Chowder can't stay a kid all the time. Maybe let's see him in his teen years as a chef. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting, actually. I was literally thinking the same thing. In fact, I see no reason why they don't just have Chowder come back as maybe an older, more experienced chef, and maybe he teaches someone young.
Exactly.
Maybe they introduce a new character, and yeah, because that could work.
Yes, it could. And you know, hopefully,
you could always do a next generation kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, and hopefully they could do like, you know, like more funny stuff, and not being like that crap that Cartoon Network has right now that's like really unfunny. Cause that damn stupid Secret Mountain Fort Awesome wasn't funny. That was just, woo, god awful. Especially that new show they have, the Incredible Show. But that's a rant for another time, cause that's on a whole nother level. But like I said though, you know, it's great to just, you know, see Chowder in his teen years though, you know, because it actually shows that his improvement, you know, it shows improvement. I mean, does Panini him go out in his teen years? What happens to Ceviche? What happens to Gorgonzola? What happens to Mandol, Truffle, Schnitzel? Who's the big giant?
In a way too, if they did decide to if they did decide to bring back Chowder as an older character, it'd be kind of like passing on like Mongol passing on
the torch,
if you will.
Yeah.
Because he taught Chowder just about everything he knows about cooking, and then to see Chowder teach that to someone else would be pretty cool.
Yes, exactly. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, so the next one is now, if the show did come back, and how would it keep going? Now, if Chowder did come back, they need to, like we said, maybe 10 years, and hopefully Chowder still progresses, and let's see some other stuff happen. Now, how would it keep going on my end? Now, of course, if you've watched my early videos and everything else, I am a person who loves to see a love triangle happen. Now, to see Chowder, Panini, and maybe Gorgonzola, if he does have a crush on Panini, oh, that would be a funny episode right there. That would be hilarious.
Yes, that would be cool.
Especially maybe a Truffles? Who was the person? Mongol? I'm sorry, I'm out of it today. Okay, Mongol, Endive, and Truffles love triangle. Because there was a hint that she actually liked Mongol. So, that would be something interesting.
Oh, yeah, that could work.
Especially, what would happen to Gazpacho or Kiwi? What would happen to Kiwi? Especially Mr. Chestnut. Dingle-ee, dingle-oo. What would ever happen to him? Whatever happened to Schnitzel? Does Schnitzel ever get a girlfriend? What about our girlfriend? And especially the Arbor Day trees. God, I forgot about them. So.
I mean, yeah, it would be good to see them. Yeah, it'd be good to see that love triangle stuff, definitely.
Yeah, because it's funny.
I reckon, if anything, just if the show came back, just more of what they've done and better than what they've done.
Exactly.
If they could pull that off, it would be amazing.
Yeah, and maybe, new...
I mean, bring back the puppets, bring back the cool patterns and stuff that they've been putting into the cartoon in the past, because they even did claymation, I think, as well. I mean, they had a whole bunch of different techniques they were throwing in there for that show, so it wasn't just it really wasn't just your everyday cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe they could throw in new food items, and maybe they never did a real proper Halloween episode, maybe like a Poltergeist episode, but maybe like a Chowder Halloween episode, because maybe like a new different candy that Mung was trying to invent, or some Halloween cookies, something. Instead there's that damn little Poltergeist episode. I mean, that's not a bad episode. I mean, I'm not being biased about it. I'm just saying, like, some cool, Halloween episode that has to do with, like, Mongol making new candy, or, like, let's see, like, what happens in the whole Chowder universe of how things are spent for Halloween there. Because, hey, it's Kanishmas. They changed Kanishmas from Christmas to Kanishmas. How would Halloween be? Canalloween? I don't know. But, so it would be something crazy like that. But, maybe you see a new Halloween episode, or a Thanksgiving episode. Chowder would go crazy on Thanksgiving. That would be a good episode. Yes. And they never had an hour-long Chowder movie. Come to think about it.
Another thing that would be interesting to see,
yes,
if you're going along with holiday themes, would be because no one ever really does this. They do holidays, but they never really do New Year episode.
Just true.
Like no shows have ever done that.
Well, I've seen one on Looney Tunes, but that was just more like Bugs trying to tease Elmer so he could get out of the house. But it was mid-July, so that was like the closest you could ever think of it.
But yeah, a New Year episode would be cool too.
Exactly. And, of course, maybe another a Valentine's Day episode. Panini and Chowder fight. Maybe hitting it off once.
Yes, that would provide space for the love triangle. That would be good.
Yes. And, you know, interesting things like that, you know? And maybe they could do, maybe like a crossover episode with a show. I don't know which one in particular, but they could. Because Chowder has had so much potential. But Cartoon Network just wants to end all the great shows so they can move on to boring shit like The Incredible Show, because I'm going to go off subject just for this one little reason. The Incredible Show. I love Nick Cannon when he was on all that. I loved his show on Nickelodeon, but this show is just god-awful. It's rap's terrible. They're making kids... Okay. They dress these kids up to look like prep wiggers. Sorry if I said wiggers. I did not mean to say that. I will zip my mouth for that one. Make them look like preps, and the you know what I mean, the kids that like to sag their pants and jump. Make them look like they're straight out of the trash. And unfunny crap. I mean, seriously. I mean, this kid starts rapping about being in school and getting detention for it. How is that funny? It's not funny. And it's funny to hide in a box just to scare people. How's that funny? It's like you go out of a box and say, I like pie, just to scare people. That's not funny. That's just sitting there watching. Look, I would rather sit there and watch a person eating cereal for 3 months instead of watching The Incredible Show.
You know what it says, really? It says that...
The Incredible Crew, whatever.
I mean, I believe the older generation of cartoons were where their prime and stuff, but good shows are still out there, and Chowder is definitely one of those shows.
Yes, of course, big time, because it was... A lot of people say Cartoon Network died in 2004, but really, I mean, that was the people who were like now in their like almost late 20s, early 30s. Our prime was more like the 2000s. Their prime was 1990s of Cartoon Network. Our prime is like Chowder and stuff. So, but Chowder is still a good show in our prime. So, Chowder is a good show, and it will be missed, because believe me, Chowder was different from any other Cartoon Network show that I've ever seen, with different styles and everything. Because believe me, that Mr. Meaty show on Nickelodeon had nothing on Chowder. Because believe me, Chowder, when they had those puppets, that was amazing. So, anything else you want to say before we finish up?
No, really, I think we're done good.
Alright. So, alright guys. This is Emmy and Basis.
I'm Tony James.
We talked and/or ranted about Chowder. And we hope y'all have a good day or night when you're watching this. Thank you.